What is good, Storm fans? Bryant Cook here, and today we're playing a donation deck from our friend Katy. It's Pyromancer's Ascension in Modern. Katy, thank you for submitting this deck, and if you're interested in seeing your deck here on this channel, you know what to do. Go to theepicstorm.com/donation decks, and then you can showcase your sweet brew here, just like Katy is here today. So I've actually helped Katy improve their deck that we'll be playing, and like I mentioned, it's a Pyromancer Ascension deck where it's an enchantment that's 1 in a red, and then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you check to see if there's a instant or sorcery with that same name in your graveyard. If there is, you add a counter to it. When this enchantment has 2 counters on it, you can copy instants and sorceries. So, much like the Breach deck, we're going to be using Dragon's Rage Channeler today to fill our graveyard full of sweet instants and sorceries while sculpting some of our draws. Alongside of that, we have Consider, which is also a consistency aspect in the deck. You know, Serum Visions doesn't fill the graveyard, but it does provide us with some consistency. And how we win the game is actually using Fire, Ice, or Lightning Bolt, and then copying it with the Pyromancer Ascension. We also have Wish and a Grapeshot is an out, or even Ignite Memories. So really, what we want to be doing is casting things like Desperate Ritual, Manamorphose, or even Strike It Rich when we have the Pyromancer Ascension in play, so that way we're gaining mana. We're copying and, getting a little bit more out of our effects. And then from there, we can keep on casting Considers and Serum Visions until we draw enough of these Lightning Bolts and Fire Ices to win the game. That's really the idea here. In the sideboard, I've convinced Katy to allow me to play Aria Flame today because I've been loving it so much in Gruul Storm. I think it's the perfect sideboard pivot plan to beating Leyline of the Void and everything else you want. So I think it's going to be good. We'll find out today. Swan Song and Spell Pierce, these are primarily to hit Leyline binding because it is everywhere in Modern right now, and it's a natural predator to something like Pyromancer Ascension. After that, we have generic answers like Echoing Truth and, well, Veil of Summer for opposing counterspell decks, but also, keep our cantrip count high, Jund matchups, things like that as well. So that is the deck tech. It's actually plain and simple. This deck has existed for a long time in Modern. If you go back to pre-Gift Storm, Storm in Modern used to always be Pyromancer Ascension based, and we're hoping to bring it back in the year 2023 today. So Katy, thank you for showcasing your deck here today. I really do appreciate it, and I hope everyone enjoys this deck. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. But for now, we're going to hop on in and play this sweet brew. I will see you in the first match. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1, we're on the draw, and we've opened up a killer hand. We're definitely going to keep this. We have turn 1 Dragon's Rage Channeler into Ascension. I mean, those are the starts we want. So let's see what our opponent's up to, and hopefully that this is good enough. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, Expedition map. Okay, so not Thoughtseize, big fan of the not Thoughtseize, that is. We will fetch. And the reason I'm fetching first here is I want to get Steam Vents, because Steam Vents allows me to play turn 1 Dragon's Rage Channeler into turn 2 Ascension. And then if I can draw another blue-red land, we'll be able to double cantrip immediately. And that's sort of what I'm looking to do here. 2 mana, I should say. Are you using map or are you doing something else? I don't even know what that is. March of the Wretched Sorrow, X and a black. Deals damage to target creature or player, you gain life, you can pitch spells. Okay. So we did draw another Serum Visions, which is not bad. And now we get to put our namesake of the deck into play here. Pyromancer Ascension. It is not plural, even though I love to say it like it is. I want to say it's Pyromancer's Ascension, but it's just not. It's Pyromancer Ascension. And maybe one day I'll get over that. Cabal Coffers. 3 mana online. For a Relic of Progenitus in the main deck. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Okay. Take a draw. Hitting land 3 was huge. Let's cast Serum Visions. Remove a land. We don't really need either of these, so we'll bottom both. Serum Visions again triggers. Yes, I'd like to add a counter, so we'll do that. So it has one of the 2 required counters. We drew another Ascension. We'll bottom both of these. They don't really help at the moment. So I could play Strike It Rich here. I'm not going to because I think that they might use the Relic, and I don't want to fill my graveyard only for them to empty it. I guess that's my thought process here. And if I can find another Serum Visions to trigger it, this is actually plus mana. Our opponent has double Cabal Coffers now, which is pretty scary. Our opponent has switched to their second main phase. I don't really know what their plan is here. They just passed. Okay. Visions? Nope. Let's consider. We will get rid of that. We already have another in our hand. Okay. I think they're going to try to kill our Ascension with the Blast Zone. So now they'll add a counter onto the Blast Zone. Or they can Relic, that's fine too. Okay, they did not add a counter onto the Blast Zone. That's interesting. I guess maybe I should have tapped their Cabal Coffers in their upkeep. That was probably a mistake on my part. I was so excited about them not adding a counter to Blast Zone. A third copy of Cabal Coffers. We're in trouble. Roughly infinite mana. We can remove the other Pyromancer Ascension since it doesn't really matter. It looks like they're passing the turn. Wonder what their... Is it like all removal? What's going on? Grab another Steam Vents. I'm trying to not show them the green splash. And let's cast Ice on their Blast Zone. Now, this time they're going to add counters. We drew a Canal that doesn't really help us. Draw for turn. I mean, that's a good card. We need them to not sacrifice the Relic here. Okay, we were able to do it. Ooh, what a hit. Alright, so now this ritual is going to copy. So we'll end up with 6 red. Just has Relic and never wants to use it. Okay. I think I'm going to play out this Ascension as well. Manamorphose. So this is actually going to generate 2 mana and draw an extra card, and this is the power of Pyromancer Ascension. Another Morphos? Don't mind if I do. Okay. So now we'll cast this Manamorphose, which will add a counter onto the other Ascension. Yes. Red, blue. Let's do blue, blue. And now another consider. So this is going to level up the other copy of Pyromancer Ascension. We'll keep Serum Visions. And the Expressive Iteration. Cast Strike It Rich. This is going to make 3 treasures for a single red mana. Better than Dark Ritual. Expressive Iteration. I don't think any of this actually matters anymore. We'll take Channeler because we can. The other iteration can go on the bottom. Serum Visions. Yes, I would like to copy. We'll put Bolt to hand, Channeler on bottom, Consider to exile. And now this we'll keep. We'll take Ritual to hand, Expressive Iteration, Manamorphose. Let's cast Desperate Ritual. So we are going to use one of our precious blue mana here, but we're going to get to make 9 red. We're doing it, and it feels great. This is exactly what we signed up for. Manamorphose. We're just going to make all blue now. Okay. Blue, blue. Copy. Blue, blue. And blue, blue. Lightning Bolt them so they'll take 9. I guess I'll play out a Channeler. I mean, I could have done that before. The World's our oyster here. Alright, so we get to Surveil off the Dragon's Rage Channeler. We're just looking for another Fire Ice or Lightning Bolt to close out this game. Land goes to the graveyard. Yes, I'd like to copy. Same targets. Okay, they're going to be at 3 here. But we get to look at a lot of the rest of our deck in order to win. They have another March of something bad. Wretched Sorrow. We'll cast Consider in response. Make sure to get that Dragon's Rage Channeler Surveil in. Okay, Consider. Land to the graveyard. Consider again. Land to the graveyard. And we drew a Fire Ice. Auto yield. Ritual to the graveyard. We'll draw. Put that on top. We don't need them knowing about that. I will fire them. Straight to death. Boom. When I first started playing Magic, Fire Ice was the pinnacle of pretty much every format. But back then it wasn't Legacy. It was Type 1.5, Type 1, Type 2. 1X was extended. And Fire Ice was just in the middle of all of it. This card was a all-star. Alright, enough of me talking about old people stuff. Let's prepare for the post-board games. We probably want these Veil of Summers. We'll board those in. Seems okay against the black deck. Likely want Echoing Truth. Aria Flame seems very good against the deck that can't remove it, so we want that as well. We're at 68 cards. I think that you could actually board out Channeler versus the deck that has a ton of removal, and we don't really have a whole lot of targets, so we'll get rid of that. I also don't think that this is necessarily a speed-based matchup, so I'm okay boarding down on copies of Lightning Bolt. At least when you leave Fire Ice, you can use it to draw cards, and that's actually pretty relevant. And I think I'm going to board out 2 copies of Strike It Rich. Let's try this out. Basically, we're trading speed for consistency here. A 4-lander. So I'm going to keep this, which might seem a little bit odd, and I completely understand that. But if our opponent opens up on a discard spell, I don't want to mulligan to a Pyromancer Ascension or whatever. Play this Fire Bluff and we'll pass. Relic, sure. On their end step, we will cast a Consider. I will definitely keep that one. Sure, Consider has been exiled. Another Spire Bluff. So many lands. We're going to pass because we want to get a little bit more value out of this Expressive Iteration. Relic number 2. Okay. So these are the games where something like Aria Flame would really shine. Because Pyromancer Ascension not looking so good, but Aria doesn't care about the graveyard. Manamorphose. Let's play the Iteration. Ooh, we have to choose here between Aria Flame or Veil of Summer. So I'm going to choose Aria. The Veil can go on the bottom and we'll cast Strike It Rich this turn. Play the Spire Bluff. And let's make a red mana. Or, I'm sorry, a treasure. Okay. Strike It Rich has been exiled. That is not a swamp. Necromentia, sure. What are you even going to name here? Pyromancer Ascension. You have double Relic! You have double Relic! What are you doing? There's so many better names when you have double Relic of Progenitus active. Manamorphose, for example. Fine, I guess you want me to win the game. Draw. We will fetch, grab a Stomping Ground. They know about the Veil of Summers already, so I think it's fine. So we could try to win with the Aria trigger on the stack. I don't think it's very realistic. So I'm not going to do that. I mean, I guess it's sort of free, but I'm just not going to. I don't think it's like worth the hassle because I plan on casting the Serum Visions anyway. So basically you can respond to the 10 life trigger, cast a bunch of instants and win the game, but I only have 3, and even if I drew really well off the Manamorphose, it's not very practical. Blue. Hey, rewarded. Okay. Visions. You've got it. Another ritual. We'll keep the Expressive Iteration on top. Play Visions. These are both great. Lightning Bolt you. Pass the turn. We're only a couple spells away from victory. Demolition Field. We did keep 2 cards on top. I could understand wanting to destroy my Stomping Ground here. 4 mana. Karn the Great Creator. My least favorite Magic the Gathering card. I like to call Karn the Great Piece of Trash because that's what it is. But I don't think Karn is going to have enough time to save our opponent here. Elixir of Immortality. Okay. Desperate Ritual. Have fun taking 6. Expressive Iteration. Victory. We are 1-0 with Pyromancer Ascension combo. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Match number 2, we're on the play. No lands, mulligan. This seems reasonable. Likely want to bottom the Desperate Ritual here because keeping pairs is very good when you're a Pyromancer Ascension deck. And well, Expressive Iteration digs for, our namesake, so we probably want to keep that one. Alright, so we've bottomed the Ritual and we are ready to go. We'll play a Scalding Tarn and pass the turn. Arid Mesa, okay. On their end step, we're going to activate and then just go grab a Steam Vents. Another Expressive Iteration, okay. So ideally they fetch on the end step and then in their upkeep we can tap their land. Sacred Foundry, okay, likely to be burn. There's a bolt. Let's ice that Sacred Foundry. We drew a bolt, that's a good one. Another Arid Mesa from the opponent. And they're passing. Consider. Let's play our own Expressive Iteration. We'll put Striker Rich to hand, Mountain on bottom, and then Serum Visions. And the reason I'm doing it this way is that I don't have to Lightning Bolt myself to cast the Striker Rich. I can just go grab a basic island and play the Serum Visions. Get rid of both of these. Pass the turn. No end step burn spell. The Sunbaked Canyon from our opponent with a Lava Spike immediately after it. I'm guessing that this is likely going to be an Eidolon of the Great Revel. And there it is. We already have plenty of removal in hand. Bolt the Eidolon. We will take 2 going down to 10, unfortunately. Play the Channeler, and then let's consider trying to dig for that spell. Don't need a Spire Bluff. Consider. Don't need a Desperate Ritual. Play a tapped Stomping Ground. Pass. I'm at 7. We are not looking so good at the moment. Another Eidolon. Draw for turn. Another bolt. So this is going to put me to 5, and our opponent has 3 cards in hand. Get rid of the Striker Rich. I guess I'll play Striker Rich here. We have to find something. I don't think I'm allowed to attack because I need to keep back the Channeler for a potential blocker when I'm at 5. In their upkeep, we will ice Sacred Foundry. Burn the Manamorphose. We drew Ascension, but I think it's probably too late at this point. Land number 3 again. They have 3 cards. Searing Blaze, I'm at 2. And Skewer. Yeah, we were just too slow. Okay. Likely want Spell Pierce. I think we don't want Wish. I think Wish is just too slow. I think I'm actually going to board out Channeler and then bring in 3 Aria in the Echoing Truth. I believe that the game plan is actually... Ooh, I get to bring in 1 more card too. The Grape Shot as well. I believe that... Oh, no, I just didn't board in all the Arias. We'll bring the Grape Shot back out. I think that basically we just want to be the more controlling deck in the matchup and accept that we're slower. Great hand. Keep. And having Channeler in our deck is a little bit of a liability when they showed us main deck copies of Searing Blaze. Let's just not give them targets for that. Play a Spire Bluff, pass. Sacred Foundry. Swift Spear. Consider. Bin the Wooded Foothills. Manamorphose, so it's a decent draw. We'll take 1 off the Swift Spear. Draw Step is another copy of Expressive Iteration. Play the Pyromancer, and then we'll pass the turn. I'm actually a little worried here about Eidolon of the Great Revel, just because I can't remove it, so it would end up dealing me a bunch of damage. And that's what they have, so we want to draw into Lightning Bolt. We'll take 1 off the Swift Spear, going to 18. Draw. I think you're supposed to Iteration looking for Lightning Bolt. We take 2. We found it. Hand, bottom, and then bolt. So this Eidolon dealt us 4 damage. Land number 3. They suspend Riftbolt, Sanctifier. I don't care about it. I guess I do. Because it's going to make it harder to trigger the Pyromancer. That's actually a pain in the butt. That is kind of annoying. I guess I'll start on the Consider, get one counter on the Ascension. Okay. I need to keep that, I think. Expressive Iteration. We found a Consider, that's huge. We'll play Breeding Pool. Basically, I need to be able to untap next turn. We know that our opponent has 7 damage here between the Riftbolt and 4 power. And they have 3 cards in hand. So there's a good chance that I'm just dead because all they need is a Lightning Bolt to kill me. I kind of have to hope that they're just flooded, I guess. Nothing pre-combat. Okay. Consider this will trigger the Ascension. We'll keep Fire Ice. Manamorphose. This copies. Yes. Red, red. Blue, blue. Another Manamorphose. I love it. Cast Consider. So you might be saying, Bryant, why not play the Ascension here? I think it's actually kind of risky because mana's my choke point at the moment. I think we keep this. 12 damage. It's 16 damage. We'll get rid of 1 Fire Ice, I think, because we need a Desperate Ritual. Manamorphose again. Yes, we'll copy. Red, red. Blue, blue. That might do it, but I don't want to... I'm just going to play the Visions. Like, we get to dig pretty deep here for a ritual. And there it is. And another bolt. Okay. Yes, I'll copy. A little bit of fire. Burn, baby, burn. Bolt you. Same target. So now they're going to go to 7. Deflecting Palm. Okay, so this is really awkward. I do have Spell Pierce in my deck. I guess this only redirects 1 copy. Okay. And another Deflecting Palm. So this would kill me. So we have to find the Spell Pierce now. Wish I would have cast the Serum Visions. Admittedly, I was not thinking about Deflecting Palm at all. Another Bolt. So I could kill them with it on the stack. That's probably the best solution here. Yeah, get wrecked. Who's the burn deck now? Tell me. I want to know. Okay. Yes. Same targets. And then just for good measure, just to prove that I'm the burn deck, target them again. Alright, a little bit of fire. Boom. Nice Deflecting Palms. We got away with one there. I'm going to resubmit. Could board in the Swan Song. I don't know if that's something we actually want to do. Okay. I mean, this is a reasonable hand. It's a little bit slow, but we do have removal for the Eidolon of the Great Revel. We also have the Ascension already. Inspiring Vantage. Into Spike. Play the Canal, pass the turn. Our opponent plays Arid Mesa, they use it, they go grab a mountain, and they suspend a Riftbolt. Okay, so they kept a hand with no turn 2 Eidolon. Consider. We'll bin the Strike It Rich. Another land. This is not shaping up to be what we wanted. Play the Ascension, pass the turn. They bolt me, I'm at 14. Riftbolt comes off suspend, we'll go to 11. They still have 4 cards in hand too. Monastery Swiftspear. We'll take 1 unless they decide to pump it up a little. Another land. We'll pass. Beginning of combat, we will attempt to ice the Swiftspear to save some damage. They will Boros Charm me, I go to 6. Another land. Draw. Drew a bolt. Let's get rid of the Swiftspear. Play a tap Steam Vents. Pass. In their upkeep, we will tap their White Source. This gets 1 counter on the Ascension. Expressive Iteration. That doesn't trigger the Pyromancer Ascension. We're still pretty far away from winning. We're at 3. We are very close to death. We need quite the turn. Spell Pierce. Guess we start on Expressive. Just doesn't do a whole lot. So I guess we put Iteration to hand. Ritual on bottom. Maybe I messed this up. Maybe I was supposed to put... Can I undo? I can. Okay. So maybe we put Ritual to hand, Delta, and then Expressive. And now we play Expressive. So now this has 2 counters. We'll put the Mountain on the bottom. And now we have to hope that they cast an instant or sorcery to kill us. And then we Spell Pierce. So I'm hoping for a Boros Charm, Lightning Helix, something like that. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we might be able to untap here. Grab the basic island. Spell Pierce the Lightning Helix. Okay. Please no land. Uh-oh, they drew land number... They don't have it! They don't have it! We get a chance. Alright, so we'll start on the Desperate Ritual. And this time I will play the Ascension because, I mean, 6 red floating is a lot. And with the Expressive Iteration, we get to add a counter onto the second one. So I think it's just worthwhile. First one, Strike It Rich. That does put the second counter on the non-copied Ascension. That could have been better. So we'll play the Mountain. Cast Strike It Rich. This will add a counter like I mentioned, so now we'll have 3 Considers. Make a whole bunch of treasure. Another Strike It Rich. We're riding on the back of Consider here. Okay. Cast the Consider. Yes. Yes. First Consider. We'll bin the Polluted Delta, take a draw. Not the worst, but we need some more spells. Bin that. That doesn't... It's not a draw spell. So we could use the Fire Ice to draw. We can't make 19 damage yet. We're just short. Consider. Bin the Delta. That is lethal. Oh my. We're actually going to do this. It's insane. Okay. Same targets. Who is the real burn deck? Get out of here. Little Friday night beatdown. That's how I often refer to Pyromancer Ascension as the beatdown deck, right? I'm being a little bit facetious as we win this game, but bear with me. So this puts them to 1. Sacrifice the treasure, and we will fire them. 2-0 with Ascension. Whew. 3 matches left. Let's see if we can keep this winning streak going. I would like that. All right. I will see you in the third match. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round 3 on the play. Keep. Play the Scalding Tarn, we'll pass. Bolt something if we can. Turn 2 Pyromancer. Arid Mesa. Okay, is it burned again, or is this time a Leyline Binding deck? I feel like burn usually doesn't open on Mesa Pass too often. Another Ascension. Okay, let's play it. Snap resolved. No end step fetch. Could be burn. Well, burn definitely doesn't play Windswept Heath. Hallowed Fountain. Godless Shrine. Okay. 2 mana. For a brought back. That's a bummer. Another land. I feel like we're flooding a lot. Play the Ascension. We'll pass. They're fetching twice. 4, 5 white. Elesh Norn. Alright, I'm going to have to read this again because I don't honestly remember all the words on it. Alright, so it's a 5 mana 4/7 Legendary Praetor. It has Vigilance. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability, if you control the trigger, it triggers a second time. My permanents don't trigger. Okay, got it. Draw. Another land. You gotta be kidding me. I guess I should fetch to thin. Manamorphose. So many lands. And apparently I didn't do red-blue like I thought I did. Expressive Iteration. Do Channeler to hand, Ascension on the bottom, consider. Play the consider. That can get milled. Pass. Not loving the position I'm in. Bull Drifter, so it triggers twice, so they'll draw 4. Pretty good rate there. They're already at 12 though, so if we can get these Ascensions active, Lightning Bolt gets us very close to lethal. There's a Triome. They swing. We're at 12. Tie ball game. Another Channeler. Okay. Pass the turn. Leyline Binding. Oh, that's disgusting. It gets 2 triggers? I mean, that is what the card says, but that is not something I was thinking about. Holy moly. We want the Surveil, so let's cast our spells. Get rid of this. We'll keep Consider. Okay, pass. They have 6 cards in hand too. This is disgusting. 3 mana again, another Muldrifter. We need them to not have a Leyline Binding. Ephemerate? Wow, okay. Just drawing their deck here. We'll go to 8. This is so good. Myriad, the Sky Ruin, okay. 2 white. Wall of Omens. Alright, so I don't have to worry about Leyline Binding. This is definitely our turn. So I'm drawing Consider. Then we'll get 1 counter on these. I mean, I pretty much just have to chain good spells. Come on, deck. Pretty please. Consider. Yes. Yes. Expressive Iteration. Or another land. Okay, so this will copy. So now we just need to find a good spell off this. So now our Ascensions are active. Consider. I'll take it. Put on top. So you're saying there's a chance. Manamorphose. So we will get 3 copies of Manamorphose here. Okay. Red, red. And that's going to do it. Red, red. Blue, blue. Lightning Bolt you. Same targets. Target you again. I will bolt you. Wow, I feel like we got away with one there. Holy moly. Alright, so we're facing a Leyline Binding deck. I think we definitely want these Spell Pierces. We want the Echoing Truth. I think we also... No, we probably want to leave this in the wish board. We're at 65. I know that we just won with Bolt, but this doesn't seem like a Lightning Bolt matchup. I'm kind of tempted to board this out and just view Wishes or Win Condition with Grape Shot. We also have Fire Eyes. Channeler seems fine enough. I don't know if they're a counterspell deck. It doesn't seem like they are. We're at 1 Striker Rich, maybe? Let's try this. I don't love Aria against a deck that can just remove it very easily. So this has Leyline Binding covered, but our hand doesn't actually do anything. This is much better. Keep will get rid of Striker Rich. They play a Triome. Channeler. Okay. I'm going to play the Channeler here and be a little bit risky. I just going to have faith that I'll find land 2. Wall of Omens. Draw. Okay. Let's consider. This gives me the most looks at land 2. Bin this. Unfortunately, mill the Swan Song. No land. Pass the turn. And they just pass. Draw. Ritual. I'm going to Visions. I know that if I saved it, I could trigger my Ascension, but I just need the land. Fetch here a little bit awkward. We'll pass. Ephemerate their Wall of Omens. Okay, so that's essentially a draw 2. Sanctifier. We don't have red cards yet. In the graveyard, that is. Really glad I kept the Consider on top. Play the Ascension. We can... I mean, we're going to mill the Expressive Iteration, but the Sanctifier will exile it. Okay. 2 white mana for brought back. So they have a bunch of fetch lands. Muldrifter. They're fetching for a white. Brought back again. So I think this gives me a window through Leyline Binding, because they'd have to fetch an off color here to cast it. Land. Not a land. Alright, so I think we start on Serum Visions, which will trigger the Ascension. Mill this. Add a counter. Yes. We hit the land we needed. That was good. We'll keep both these on top. Okay, consider. So now we get our card. I mean, we want all of these, so yes. Yes. So now we're going to use Striker Rich to go from 1 to 2 mana. Our opponent gave us a window here. Okay. And now we're going to Desperate Ritual. Actually, I think I might have made a mistake. I should have milled this Consider previously. I don't have enough blue mana to use it effectively. Now we'll strike it rich. This will give us 2 blue sources for Expressive Iteration. Get rid of the Channeler. We don't need that. Storm is 5. Wish and a Grape Shot is likely our win condition this game. Mill the Swan Song. Iteration. We'll take this, and then these two don't matter. Iteration. Take the Wish. I guess we can do it this way. Play the Channeler. Desperate Ritual. We get 2 Surveil triggers. Mill the land. Sure, we'll keep it, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Use this for a blue. Expressive Iteration. Put it on top. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to mill it. I don't know. Okay, so we need more mana here. That is what Manamorphose is. Manamorphose. Just going off. I love it. We're about to be 3-0. How crazy is that? Manamorphose, another good rip. Cast it. Nice Sanctifier. We'll get rid of this Fire Ice. Keep the Desperate Ritual. Blue, blue. Blue, blue. Desperate Ritual. From is 12. Keep this one on top. So we have roughly infinite red. We'll now cast Wish. And now we can play 2 Incineroar sorceries from our sideboard. Pretty sweet. Okay, so they're at 14. Let's just get this over with. Cast Grape Shot. Boom! This deck has looked pretty good so far. 3-0. Katy might be onto something. Let's see if we can get the last 2. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Okay, we're back at it. This is the 4th match, and we're on the play. Don't think we're allowed to keep this one. The mountain is just so awkward. Okay, this seems reasonable. Get rid of the Strike It Rich. Spirebluff Canal into the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Indultha Triome. Draw. Wish, not really a card we wanted at the moment. Okay, let's Serum Visions. Trigger, we get a Surveil. Mill the Fire Ice. Draw a random card. I think I want the Expressive on top. Swing better. Swing! Wooded Foothills. They just pass. Expressive Iteration. Once again, we get the Surveil here. They're going to fetch in response. Steam Vents. Fire my Channeler. We don't need the island. I guess we'll play another Channeler. Okay. Play it and pass. Stomping Ground, they're at 14. Shardless Agent. So they're on Rhinos. Okay. Which means they are a force deck. Go to combat, so they'll go to 11. Let's play Consider. Mill the Bolt. Don't need a Spire Bluff. Okay. Not in a great spot here. So this will put me to 5. We'll ice down their Triome that makes white. Surveil away, Strike It Rich. There's Leyline Binding. I just don't see how we possibly win this. They ice my land. Yep. Yeah, they just got me. Okay, we lose game number 1. Definitely interested in Spell Pierce and Swan Song. Alright, I couldn't find the 5-color Rhino Stack and Goldfish, they only list the Teamer one. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do here. I do think Bolt is a little underwhelming, so I'm kind of down to board that out. But I wasn't sure if I should be boarding in Veil of Summers or not. I do think I want the Echoing Truth. I think the Striker Rich is a tiny bit weak here. I'm going to try this, and if I'm fortunate enough to win game number 2 and see counter spells, I'll board in Veil for game 3. Wish is looking so bad. Maybe I should have boarded that out. Like, the rest of the hand is fine. So, like, as a 6-card hand, I would keep this without the Wish, so I might as well keep it as a 7. Play the Scalding Tarn and pass. Okay. Grab Island. Consider. Get rid of the spare land. Draw one anyway. Pass the turn. This is certainly a matchup where I would love something like a Blood Moon. Misty Rainforest. And they're just passing. Oh, I meant to grab Steam Vents. I did not mean to click Stomping Ground. That's my bad. Play Steam Vents. We'll pass the turn. I guess I could play out one Striker Rich early. Maybe I should have done that. Okay. I got wrecked here by this because now they can cascade into Rhinos. But I do have the Echoing Truth already, so a little bit fortunate in that sense. Oh. Okay. Sure. Don't think I'm allowed to target this? Yeah, I'm not. Okay. Strike it rich, we'll pass. They're at 13. So they're 5-color zoo with the Rhino package. Okay. I'll take 3 going to 15. End step, let's ice their island. Try to create an opening here. See if I can draw into something good. Ascension might be a little too late. So next turn they're attacking for 12. I feel like this Ascension's not even good because like I don't even have any spells that are in the graveyard. Let's Expressive Iteration. That was also not very good. Alright, Striker Rich to hand, Swansong on the bottom, and we'll play Polluted Delta this turn. Play Striker Rich. So you might have been saying, Bryant, why not play Ascension into Striker Rich there? You could, but it puts you really close to death, and I want to leave up Echoing Truth Spell Pierce if I need it. They remove the Expressive Iteration. Sure. Okay, if you have like a Lightning Helix, I'm dead. Oh, I guess I saw Fire Ice. That was actually kind of dumb. I didn't think of it until after I activated. Sorry, Katy. We are 3-1, no 5-0. I'll be honest, I don't think I was winning this game anyway, but obviously I shouldn't have played into the Fire Ice. That's my own fault. You know, it happens. One match left. Let's just focus on winning that one. Want early access to articles at theepicstorm.com? Become a member of our Patreon to get articles 7 days early, on top of other sweet benefits, and help us pay our website team. You can sign up at patreon.com/theepicstorm. The 5th and final round, we're on the draw, and we will keep. Opponent with a mulligan to 5. Misty Rainforest pass. They actually went down to 4. Another land. You feel like sometimes with this deck we get a little bit flooded. Ouch. Play the Channeler, pass the turn. They have their own copy of Steam Vents. And they're passing, okay. Let's fetch out the basic. Play Visions, Surveil. Bin the Morphose because we have one in hand already to trigger the Ascension. We're just looking for the Ascension itself, and there it is. That's beautiful. Put the Lightning Bolt on top in case we need it. Swing. And they're just passing. Okay. Play Consider. Mill the Bolt. We will keep you. So I could play the Ascension here, but it plays into our opponent having Spell Pierce. So instead, I'm going to just try to protect it and ice them in their upkeep. Ice the Steam Vents. Mill the land. And then hit F6. They're just passing. Oh, they found land too. Okay. Spirebluff Canal. We can just play double Ascension here. Play the Ascension. Trigger. Force a negation pitching Shardless Agent. Okay, so now we know that they're on Rhinos. Mill the Wish. Play the Ascension. Were you prepared for 2 Ascensions? Mill the Striker Rich. Hey, that one resolved. Swing better. Okay, opponent's on 3 cards at the moment. It looks like they're just passing again. Alright, Manamorphose. This will be the first trigger on Ascension. Force negation again with one with the multiverse? What is that? Some giant unplayable spell. Okay. We'll mill channeler. Yes. Manamorphose again. This will put the second counter on top of the Ascension. Keep the Manamorphose. Alright, we'll do red, and then we'll cast this Manamorphose, and now the Ascension will copy it. Get rid of Consider. Yes, yes. Red, blue. Let's play Desperate Ritual. Mill Breeding Pool. Yes, I would like to copy. Expressive Iteration. I heard that this card's pretty good when you get to fork it. Expressive. Okay, and now the other. Alright, so let's play the other Ascension. We'll mill this one. Desperate Ritual. Mill. We do have a Lightning Bolt already in our graveyard, so I'm going to cast this because I want to copy our next Expressive Iteration. We'll mill that. 24 cards left in deck. Same targets. Now we'll Expressive Iteration again, so this is triple iteration. Mill the Ritual. Yes, I'd like to copy or add counters or whatever. Okay. Put Fire, Ice, and Exile. Another iteration. And another one. They're at 9 life. Let's play a Striker Rich. I mean, I know that I could wish for a Grape Shot, but Katy, my feedback so far this league is I think that the Wish and the Wish package is the worst thing about the deck. I think that everything else about this deck has been phenomenal. So I'm trying to see if I can win without the Wish here. And I know that I have double Fire Ice, but I want an Expressive Iteration again. Like, I have both somewhere. 15 cards left in deck. Okay. And our opponent has conceded the game. Playing some sort of weird Shardless Rhinos. I've never seen that expensive card before. And a quick look at recent Goldfish list doesn't have it in there. I should have actually read what the card did. 0 clue. Alright, but I think we want the Spell Pierces. We want Echoing Truth. Probably want Swan Song. Actually, we want Veil of Summer. Alright. 68 cards. I think I don't like Wish versus the Force of Vigor. Or, I'm sorry, versus the Force of Negation deck, so we'll get rid of that. I also don't like Channeler. Like, there are 4 Fire Ice decks, so we can board that out. I think you want to keep the burn spells for finishing them off. Alternatively, what you could do is board in Arias and then board out a bunch of the burn, because the burn isn't actually good in the matchup. So hypothetically, that leaves us at 57. You could board in the Swan Songs. Or I had one in the deck on accident already. But you could do that and, like, bring in 1 Grape Shot. 59. I don't hate this. Maybe, like, 1 Breach. Submit. So if you were... So, Katy, if you do decide to cut the Wish package, which is what my recommendation would be, you can play things like Blood Moon in the board, which would have shored up our loss. This seems fine. Get rid of the Grape Shot. Leyline of Sanctity. I think... No, I have an Echoing Truth in deck. Okay. I do have an Echoing Truth. Oh, they're the wrong kind of Cascade deck. I see. They're not boarding into Rhinos. They're the... What is it called? The Warp World one. I've played it before. I can't think of it right now, though. Striker Rich. Glimpse of... No. It's Glimpse, I think. Glimpse of Tomorrow is... That's what I want to say it is, but for some reason I feel like it's wrong. Play the Ascension. Resolves. Okay, so they grabbed the Steam Vents. Stomping Ground there at 16. Here it is. I guess we're going to get to see the Cascade spell. Glimpse of Tomorrow. Okay, so I was right. It just took me a second to get there. Spell Pierce. You do have a Shardless agent, though. Consider. I think I want to leave these up. Gemstone Caverns. Going for it again? Suspending a Glimpse of Tomorrow. Okay. I'll take 2 going to 16. Nope. Chooses not to attack. Okay. Fetch. Grab the breeding pool, I guess. Consider. We'll mill that. We can flash it back for the flashback and then trigger the Ascension. Okay, so flashback strike. There's 1 counter. Pass. Glimpse of Tomorrow removes a suspend counter. If they play anything here that I can spell pierce, I'm probably going to do it just for the Ascension counter. We go to 13. Okay, draw. Serum Visions. So what I could do is I could Vision, Spell Pierce, and Veil, or I could just Vision, Spell Pierce for the trigger into Expressive Iteration. All of that feels very risky to me. So instead I'm going to play a little bit more conservatively. I'm just going to Serum Visions. Pass the turn. Glimpse goes down to 1 counter, so we need to be able to win on our turn. Land 5. The attack for 2 will go to 11. And they're passing. So this is our window. I'll start on Consider. This will add the 2nd counter onto Pyromancer Ascension. I think I'm priced into keeping this. I do have 1 copy of Underworld Breach in our deck, but we actually need this in order to win the game. Okay, so I'm going to Desperate Ritual now. And actually, I'm going to Striker Rich. I want to keep my colors open in case I need them. I realize that I'm losing a little bit of mana this way, but I think it's worthwhile. Visions, land, Consider. That was a fine Expressive Iteration. Okay. Ritual. Play the Ritual. We'll play another Ascension. Okay, Serum Visions. Copy Aria Flame. Doesn't really help. I think we want the Strike It Rich as a random draw just because it gives us more blue. And we will keep this Serum Visions as well. Play the Strike. Consider. Okay, so now both will be active. Keep the Serum Visions. Definitely keep Manamorphose. That was a good one. So you might be asking why not Echoing Truth their stuff and then win with the Aria. I just don't think we're there yet. We don't have a whole lot of mana, and that's the biggest thing. So I think that's just kind of rushing it. Let's play Manamorphose. Blue, blue. Yes. Red, red. Blue, blue. All right, now let's fight. Play Line of Sanctity. Okay, we'll bounce the plant token. Leaving the Shardless agent on the table. Play Aria Flame. They can go up to 25. Serum Visions. And this should just do it for us. Target them. Okay. Yielding to the Aria. And copies do not trigger the Aria Flame, just a heads up. Bottom the Veil of Summer. I think we keep Grape Shot. It's just going to make winning this much easier. And the opponent concedes anyway. Sweet. So Katy, I hope I made you proud. We got the 4-1. Let's open up the chest, see what we get here. Anything good? Malira, the Living Cure. Probably not great. Yeah, not exactly the best opening here. This Ophren Viper, or whatever it's called, I am very old. I played when Cold Snap came out. This was the chaser in the set, and it sucks. Fun fact. Might Overseer? I've never seen that before. Okay, anyway, let's stop looking at terrible cards. My advice on this deck. So I'd probably cut the Wishes, and I'm not really sure what I'd add in the main deck for them. That you can leave that up to your discretion. You could play something like Noxious Revival and play the Noxious Revival loops. Although I don't think we actually needed it. The main deck felt incredibly good. You could try like 2 more cantrips there for smoothing. You could also go down to 16 lands and play like 4 Sleight of Hand or like Thought Scour. Thought Scour is a little risky because you don't actually get to sculpt for your Pyromancer Ascension. So, but you could try it. You could also try Mishra's Bobble, but Bobble doesn't trigger Ascension either, and it's a slow trip on your big combo turn, so I think it kind of stinks there. But you have some, opportunities, some things to think about. I would think about cutting the Wishes, though, and, you could play Blood Moon. So you lose the Grape Shot, the Breach, and the Ignite Memories, you gain Blood Moon, and I don't think you actually have to change anything else. So I just really want to play Blood Moon. I think that we're a Desperate Ritual Striker Rich deck, and the matchup we lost to was a 5-color deck where we just felt helpless. So I definitely want it. You don't have to agree with me. That's okay. But Katy, your deck rocked. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. I would greatly appreciate it. And have a great day. Keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.